Good day, lovelies. Today, we're gonna start sealing up this underbody. TR Bolin, thanks for the great idea. He said, you don't want little critters like mice or rats crawling in your underbody, and when you're boondocking, they will try to find a way into your underbody storage, especially if you have food down there. So, or a warm spot, right? So we're gonna take this stainless steel wool and spread it out a little bit and then stuff it into the holes around the chassis. We'll probably save some to do around the edges of the doors, but that's coming soon, so you're gonna have to wait for that. And then once we put the steel wool in, we're gonna spray foam around it. So that's what's coming up. Well, I'm working on that. Brad's gonna work on the design for the water tank. We've already got a pretty good idea, but I think he's gonna start making the thing that's gonna secure it. Woo! I'm gonna do a little bit of this. A little bit of this.
Oh, that's nice.
Is that nice?
That is nice.
Now I'm going to start stuffing it in there from this side. Like this. I'll probably stuff some in from both sides, because that seems smart.
Yeah.
Mice can make their bodies like so skinny. I saw it once at one of my apartments. A mouse squish its body under this small little crack under the door. That was nasty.
It was nasty.
Oh, I couldn't believe that its body squished like that. Like, I was just mortified. I saw it come into my bedroom, and I saw it leave my bedroom, and I was like, ah! I was scared to walk across the floor at that place between the mice and the cockroaches. Oh, look, Brent's here.
Hey, how's it going? Well, this looks like Aaron's going to have a lot of fun with this part of the project. Oh, this is actually a tube, I think.
It's a tube.
Is it a tube?
A spiralizer.
Spiralized
tube.
That's pretty cool. Well, while she does that, I was going to start working on the brackets for the water tank, the 100-gallon one. So we're going to use some angle iron and have it just go flush against the wall here. The back one will have a bolt going through the floor, so it'll be bolted through the floor there, or the side closest to the door at least. And then on this side, we're thinking of putting a piece of threaded rod through there and have it washer and bolted underneath the underbody storage, and then a nut on the top to secure this piece vertically there. And from there, being able to have the piece that's gonna hold the water tank down, preventing it from popping up while we're bumping down the road. I get a stick. We're gonna use the unistrut that we have left over from the roof rack. If you haven't seen that video, check it out right up here, to hold down the top of the freshwater tank. So this is one of the pieces. We're gonna have to cut it down, but to provide some abrasion resistance between the bottom of this metal and the top plastic of the water tank, I was thinking maybe we could use some rubber. Some people were saying that rubber would be a great idea to just eliminate the metal to plastic contact. So what we have is a lot of outdoor carpet that's left over that has a nice kind of plasticky rubberized back, and it's designed to dry super fast. So I was thinking that if this was sitting on top of that, then that would reduce that friction point. So that's what we're gonna use. So this all-weather carpet, we actually used underneath the bed in the whole back area just to cover it so that we'd have something nice. What I like about it is that it dries really quickly if something spills on it. So that's really good because we don't want it to hold moisture, and it's fairly thin and streamlined, so it's not gonna take up a whole bunch of room underneath the unistrut here. So the tank is 25.5 inches long, so I'm gonna just cut this at 27 inches. That way it gives us a little bit of overlap over the edge. So that'll give us a little bit of wiggle room. I want the edge of it to hang over by just a little bit. So I think maybe like a 1/2 inch over this unistrut. Luckily, we've got a built-in cutting board here. There we go. So now we've got our cut line there. I was gonna just measure them all to be the same, but due to inconsistencies of thicknesses of things, figured this would be a better route. So I switched out for a deep socket because this is sticking out a little too much. We'll have to cut off the tip of this, but that's fine. It's better to have a bolt that's a little too long than one that's too short and you can't get any threads. And we've been having issues with too short bolts. So this one, I was like, you know what, let's get one that's just a little bit longer so we're sure that it makes it through the floor and everything. So I think it's gonna work out really good. So far, the angle iron's getting super, super strong. I decided that it may be worth it to have some of that outdoor carpet right here on the corners, because that's where it's going to come into contact with the metal angle iron holding it in. So anywhere that it has contact with the angle iron, I don't think we need to put carpet underneath the entire thing. We've taken care of the rub points with the bolts with the thicker foam in the middle. And so with these edge ones, these edge angle irons, I think that if we just wrap this corner with the carpet, we've got about 3 1/8 inch by, I think these are 22 inches long. If we wrap this like that, then we should have a pretty nice contact point, low abrasion, and this will get cinched down into place. So I decided to put those into action right there. That way I would figure out what the total width is when it's sandwiched together like that. right, y'all, so now that the unistrut's cut to length, we've got our vertical pieces made of threaded rod. Now, I'm not going to connect all of this together yet because we still have to remove the tank one more time to do some other stuff here in a second. But one of the other things that we need to do also is put a bracket here at the front or the side of the tank here. This will prevent the tank from sliding passenger to driver side. So that'll happen there, but we can't place this yet because we need to look at our plumbing connections, and then we also need to start figuring out the door dimensions because we need to make sure that the door will be able to close because it's going to also have 2 inches of insulation in it. So I'm going to leave this piece here to remind me that that piece needs to be installed, and I'm also gonna put one on the other side. Next thing I'm gonna do is look at the back plate for the, I don't know why I can't speak today. Gonna dang old, maybe my brain's frozen's the thing, cause it's like 8 degrees Celsius in here right now, y'all. Anywho, next up, we got this water heater back here that needs to be mounted somehow. So I'm gonna look at the vertical on that and figure out where its back plate needs to go, this piece of angle iron, so that we can then drill in some bolts and mount that. So that should be pretty fun. All right, so one of the considerations is I don't really want the water heater to be sitting directly on the metal here. So I've got this pad. It's just like maybe an athletic pad, or maybe you put one of these things in the shop. Anywho, it's just a spare piece that was just hanging out here in the shop. So I thought, you know what? Let's use it for this. So I'm gonna cut out a footprint that matches that guy, the bottom of it, and then start putting up the board and see how that jives with all this over here. Looks pretty good. Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably like, Brian, why are you using a level, one of these little levely bobs in a bus that might not be level? Well, it gets me close. And I might use a right angle also, just to verify. But I think that looks pretty vertical. Now the problem is this floor might not be completely level either. But I think that as long as we get close on that, then we shouldn't have a problem with the tank sitting up next to it. So with that right angle right there, and with that right there, that's pretty freaking close. Probably push that bottom in just a little bit. Cool, I'll call that good.
On this end of the bus, I covered the chassis area, hose area from the inside to see if any of the foam, when I spray from the outside, would protrude into the inside. It's not really a big deal because you can cut this stuff, I guess what we don't want is for it to drool all over the back wall, because it's pretty cold in here. We've got it up to about 5 degrees Celsius on this side of the bus, but metal is cold, so hopefully this stuff works. It says use above freezing.
It's no longer freezing in here.
It's not freezing in here anymore. So I'm gonna start spraying from the outside of the bus, from the outside of the underbody. Once I'm done that, I'm gonna poke in, see how we did on the inside, and I'll probably just pull off the shield I made and just blast it from the inside.
What's this pro upgrade?
Left pro.
The doctor's in.
All right, time to get dirty.
And while Aaron's under there spraying spray foam up in those cavities, I'm gonna go ahead and see if it's possible to mount this backboard for the water heater. So I was being accused of getting this board, this beautiful board, all dirty with my dirty gloves. Hobo Pro, look at that. Not quite completely protected, but slightly protected.
Alright, so it didn't come through really at all, which is good. After I took off the tape and stuff, it looks like it didn't really shine through, so that's good news. I did get a big gob of this foam all over my hoodie, which is annoying. And I can't hold this bottle upside down as instructed because
There's no space.
there's no space in here. There it goes. So I'm basically impregnating the stainless steel wool with the foam. And if we gotta get another can, we gotta get another can. I gotta say, this is pretty frustrating because I can't see over that. And I'm so sticky. Annoying. So Brian took over because I was getting grumpy and I couldn't reach the top part. So he's under there just leaking the rest of the can. It's just like taking forever to goober gobber out. So
Goober gobber!
there he is.
Goober gobber!
Being a goober gobber down there.
Yeah, it's not coming out too fast anymore. I think it's probably pretty much out of propellant. So I think that I should stop here and then we'll grab some more cans and then revisit this with some fresh cans.
Fresh. Just a little bit of
Goober
goober gobber in the hair. Never hurt nobody.
I'll probably need to get my stylist to surgically remove that.
Oh, maybe just let it be until it dries. Get that. Yeah, that looks good, Bryce.
Solid. Sorry about how dirty I made it. I am just dirty. There we go. That's solid backboard. 1 inch
500-pound water heater. There it is. Look at that little cutie.
Cutie.
So we're gonna try this again, kids. We're going to experiment with a leak test. The bus is all ready to go. For the most part, we are just going to put a little bit of paper along the underbody. We totally cleared out the underbody because there's a chance that it's going to leak down into it. And what else? We're gonna do it in the barn. My dad had a really good idea with cardboard, so come along, let's see if this works. What do you think, silly?
I think that's a great idea there, you.
Brian's under there. Tried to keep this paper as clean as possible, but that's not really a thing here.
All right, so Aaron was talking about something creative. So Aaron's dad came up with this idea of maybe putting down cardboard around the perimeter of the bus so that we don't have to drive out in the snow. The snow's still here. Ice is still here. But
Still freezing.
yeah, still freezing. But all of the snow is melting off of the roof today, which means that it's not actually freezing in the air, which is a positive, I think.
The wind feels freezing, but we're gonna give this a rip. We have no choice, and it's time to start building out the inside and insulating and all of that stuff. So I don't know. If we don't take the risk, then.
So with our idea, all we have to do is back up 7 feet, which means the tail end of the bus will only hang out of the barn by 3 feet, which means that the wheels are staying on the concrete. So we're gonna give it a rip and see what happens.
Yes, and thanks to everybody who's been giving us good advice and details about tire chains and all that stuff. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see if she starts. I already had the engine heater on for a couple hours. Here's our hydrant. Let's see if it works. Come on. Yes! Ready to pull forward.
Alright, I'm ready for you. We're gonna pull forward just up until the birch so we can test the back. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so see how our ceiling is really low right there? Now we got a big open space. So we can test the back of the bus, and it's for the most part in the open space. It's actually totally in the open space. So we'll be able to test it.
Yeah, test it.
Oh. Right on the zero.
Well, just slightly above, a hair. Actually, a hair above.
Brian, just close the door. Yeah? We got the fire roaring so that so that we can keep it as warm as possible in here while the bus is rolled forward. Then we'll open the door, roll the bus back when we're ready to water the front. Let's go. You got your walkie-talkie?
I got my walkie-talkie. That one goes out to you, Ro.
We love you, little man.
There he goes.
All right, we're gonna start at the back and come to the front.
Come on.
And passenger side, unistrut.
Rear passenger side unistrut. Over and out.
Unistrut. Side rail.
Driver's side rail good. Unistrut looks good.
Cool, next unistrut back.
Passenger side.
You can probably see the waterfall.
Windows look good. You're going pretty fast for me to crawl around and really look at it.
I'm just putting water up here because it might take a little time for it to work its way through.
Stick it down the cap. Looks good. Skylight looks good. Driver's side looks good. Unistruts look good. Bathroom skylight. Oh, look at how cool that looks.
It has a weather stripping, but it doesn't have flashing, so that's a big good.
Weather stripping on the skylight. No flashing. Looks good. Oh, we got a leak. Right there.
On the outside edge?
Outside edge. Right here.
Well, it's not done being flashed.
I know, but I'm just telling you where it's at.
Cool. So on the outside edge on this side?
Yeah, I'll get a green piece of tape. I'm now exiting the bathroom. Okay, that looks good. Looks good. Hallway window looks good.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna come down and we're gonna back the bus up.
Okie dokie.
I'm just checking these rivet nuts because that was fast and furious. I had a hard time keeping up with Brian, so I'm just gonna go and touch all of our little fasteners where we put our roof rack bars, and then also all the riv nut spots in the ceiling. Let's make sure those are good. All right, everything looks good. We checked all the rivet nuts and stuff with the flashlight, all the edges of the skylights that we tested. Looks really good.
Looks really good, and that one dome skylight, just we're not done with the flashing on it. So where the metal is, if you remember that video, if you haven't seen it, check it out up here. But there's metal flashing that goes up to it, and the Eternabond doesn't quite go all the way up, and we still have a skirt flashing to go around the lid. So all of our other skylights so far are doing really good, so I think that one's gonna be fine also.
Yay. Okay, so now we just gotta turn all the lights off in here, and then we can unplug the bus, back her up.
All right, bus is unplugged.
It's not so terrible out here.
No, not too terrible.
Alright, add some more wood to the pipe.
Nope.
Holy shit. Passenger center looks good. Yeah, that looks crazy.
Alright, here we go. Window test all the way around the perimeter of each window.
Beautiful, ready? Yeah, there's some right here. Okay, stop, let me tape. I'm gonna put the tape above it so the tape doesn't get wet and fall off.
Yeah, perfect.
But we got here,
Okay.
and then a little leak here.
Oh, you know what?
Did we ever put
Was it
poly
coming?
on them?
Was it coming from up there?
No.
It was coming
dripping
from.
behind that.
You know what that is? That's the skin of the bus.
What?
The skin.
Oh.
Well, I know we put polycock up there, but maybe it wasn't a solid bead.
Any more drips?
Like,
I don't see any more.
where's the handle?
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't coming from the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from up here.
Okay, good. Well, that's good to know.
So maybe that's where the skin it connects.
And then where did this pedal come
I'm
from?
not sure. All of a sudden it was just there.
It might have. Let me shoot from up there again and watch this area.
That's not wet though. Nothing there is wet. I see it! Right there. Yeah, this is a window leak. It came from right here.
From in there? Okay.
Yeah. Alright, let's put that right
Perfect.
there.
Kind of perfect.
Well,
It's good to find out.
yeah, I'd rather know than not know.
Rather know than not know.
Ready, ready! Ah! Another one. We got icicles starting to form on the back windows already.
Great.
Huge gap right here. Skin. Top center again. The skin up under the eaves trough. So where we put when we put the skins up, when we redid the skins for these windows, they were probably bowed a little bit out from the bus, even though we caulked the heck of it out of it underneath the eaves trough. We had some gaps, obviously, but at least it's the skin and none of the windows actually leaked, so that's good.
Crazy. It sounds like
Skin.
pretty much the same This